Let's find an awesome course idea unique to you and your business and actually start making some sales before you've even created the course. And no, we're not talking about pre-selling because that actually can wind up really hurting you. So timestamps below, along with some other helpful links and resources, including a link to our online course playbook that walks through this entire process in detail so you can get up and running and of course launch and start making some sales as quickly as possible. So when it comes to what type of course to create, before we even talk about the content and the ideas uniquely suited to you, not all courses are created equal, right? There are many different ways that you can go about marketing and structuring a course. And so if you're just getting started, I'm realizing I'm saying course way too much. So let's say workshop. That is the best place to start. So this is going to be a 30, 60, or 90-day plan, taking your ideal customer from, oh my gosh, I have this big problem, or I have this result that I want to achieve, to, yay, I've overcome all of my problems and I've achieved the results. So this structure makes it very easy to come up with content ideas. It makes your marketing easy because you are specifically talking to a result or roadblock that you're helping someone overcome. And this can start from 25 all the way up to $300. And so of course your niche or industry or how long the workshop actually needs to be. For us, I like having a workshop anywhere from an hour to 3 hours, and normally that puts me in the $100 to $150 range. Just depends upon the niche and what we're actually talking about, of course, in our course. But remember, the people are buying a result, not all the videos and templates and trainings that you put together. So just keep that in mind when you're thinking about how much your course is going to be worth. So once you've decided to hopefully create a workshop, don't actually create it yet because we want to validate with some sales. Maybe you're not quite sure what type of content you should actually create your course about. So if you already know your niche and industry and you're like, I know exactly what type of content I want to make my course about, then go ahead and jump to this timestamp where we go through how to outline your course. Otherwise, we'll go through a quick process to find where you're uniquely suited to create some awesome content to sell as a course, going through the gap. So imagine your customer right now. They're at point A and they want to get to point B, C, E, F, G, right? And so there's a gap in between there. And our course is what fills that gap with information, strategies, and tactics that get them from, oh my gosh, I want this result, I'm struggling over here, to, oh, that's how I get the result and how I get through all of my struggles, right? And so there's a simple process linked in the cards in the description inside of the playbook for creating your course, but we'll go through it quickly here. So first you want to just list out all of your skills, right? Whether you have made money from them or you haven't. And then of course, give them a quick description and then list out the results that you got using that skill, right? So as an example here, you can see I have marketing, editing, and financial analysis, and of course, bookkeeping, cooking, and running. So you can always pause if you want to read my silly little examples, but just as an example, see cooking, yay, marriage points. My wife likes my sandwiches for some reason, pretty much nobody else, right? Probably not going to be able to monetize that skill as much as maybe video editing or financial analysis or obviously marketing, because you're watching this video and the channel is all about marketing, right? And then you want to go through, okay, what are the things I struggled to overcome to get the results that I achieved? So that's going to be your roadblocks. How was your life different, or what was the bigger impact on your life? And so this is going to help you with your sales messages in the future. And then start thinking about, how did you go about overcoming those roadblocks, maybe differently than other people have who've achieved similar results. And by the way, you don't have to be the biggest and best in your niche or industry, right? As long as you've achieved a result that your future customers or students want, you have the right to teach them. You're just sharing your experience to, of course, shortcut all of those pains and headaches that you went through when you didn't have the workshop course to go through, right? And then, of course, the final one's just going to be very personal to you, where you'll just write out not only how it changed your life, but you looking back on it, the greater impact it's had. And so that will help you when you're coming up with your sales copy and your emails and your sales letter. Those stories that you write out here in the change column and the impact column will help you there in empathizing with your customers. So that's more for the sales side. But for now, let's jump into outlining your course, because it can be really confusing and hard to figure out what on earth should we put in this course. And then of course we will talk about, see, I'm saying course too much. So we'll outline your workshop and then we'll talk about how to actually start making some sales before you've created your workshop course. I almost said course again. Gosh dang it, I'm saying course too much. Okay, so here's what we want to do. Let's think about our ideal customer right now, or our ideal workshop student. And they're at the bottom, and then at the very top are the results, right? And so we're going to guide them along this journey, showing them our unique way of achieving the result that they want, and of course, helping them sidestep some common traps. So module number 1 is going to be a self-assessment and inventory. So this is where we're going to help them understand where they are. They're going to collect some basic information that they need to actually start the process and create a plan. So think of this as all the basic information and everything that they need to collect and self-assess in order to create an actual plan. This is not licensed to go over super basic content. This is where people really get annoyed with courses. So as an example, if we were creating a course on stock trading, right, we wouldn't start off by saying the stock market was invented in 19 or 18. Like, nobody cares, right? So we would just say, all right, here are the 5 indicators that you need to understand, right? And then you'd skip finance class 101 because nobody actually cares. So we really want to give the basic amount of basic information, basic on basic, and then move on to step number 2, which is going to be the planning. So this is where you help them map out their plan, their their plan of attack, and then of course anything that they actually need to purchase or start doing now in order to get to the main component. So think about it as we went through the self-assessment preparation. Now in module 2, we're making a plan and we're getting a little more concrete on what we're about to do. And then module 3, rubber meets the road. You go through in excruciating detail everything they need to do to achieve that result that they want, and then of course sidestep some of the common roadblocks. Now at this point, you might be looking at this and going, it looks like module 3 is way bigger than the first 2. And it's probably going to be that way because we want to have some momentum build up in your workshop. Because if you start off and just lay out everything that they need, see how I said all and everything at the same time? You lay out everything that they need on the onset, they're going to look at this and go, oh my gosh, I have to do what? So we do need to have baby steps into what is the big hammer drop of the actual getting to work. And so the first 2 modules will be shorter because we need to have them get that momentum and have them really get into the course and actually see the value and actually have some sense of accomplishment before the hard part comes in, right? And so I probably spent way too long on that. And then module 4 is going to be the advanced tactics, the advanced strategies, kind of the follow-up, and anything that didn't fit in module 3. And so what you'll do is you'll outline module 3, everything under the sun that they need to know, and then you'll go back through and say, okay, if I had to cut this in half, right? If I had to give them the bare minimum to just get started, to get momentum towards whatever that end goal is, what would I need to include? And so you'll strip out a lot of the information that you had in module 3 and put it in module 4 because you realize, well, they could at least get started without knowing this. And then once they're started, then I could tell them this, right? And so this just helps people go through your course faster and of course, start taking action, because the more action someone takes when they go through your course, the more likely they are to get the result, which means they're going to be happy, they're going to leave a positive review, and of course, they're going to be willing to buy your next course or workshop, right? And then of course, the final module is going to be a reflection, kind of recap, any more advanced tactics and strategies that you have, and of course, go over next steps. Now, obviously, this is a really big oversimplification, and we had to work really hard to make sure that this worked across any niche or industry. So here's a quick little diagram that you can, of course, pause on. You can come back, timestamps below, and also in the description, the course launch playbook will have this diagram and of course this process listed out for you so you can easily follow along. Now at this point, it's really easy to be tempted to go, okay, I've got my course outline, time to make some sales with pre-sales, which you've probably seen before, where you go and you sell the course before you actually make it, or you do the worst thing and you actually start making the course before you have any sales or validation. So both of those are wrong, because guess what? If you go and start selling your course right now and you have this awesome outline and let's say you make a couple sales, well, I can tell you from personal experience, when you launch your course, even if you have a very small audience and you're looking at your sales at the end of the week and you go, wow, I made 3 sales and I'm on the hook for making this workshop for 3 people. Not a good feeling at all. And of course you have 2 options. You either refund those people, which is a bad idea because now you're putting a bad taste in the mouth of the people who really actually responded to your messaging. Or number 2, you slave away the next couple weeks creating a course for literally 3 people, instead of figuring out why your sales messaging didn't work. So instead, we're going to make micro offers. So going back to our course outline here, we have our ideal student at the bottom, and then we have the 5 different modules. What you want to do is start coming up with worksheet, template, and tool script ideas for each one. So as an example, come up with some templates, come up with some scripts, and come up with a tracker or planner that you can include in your course. And then make those now before you even hit record on any of your modules. And so what you can do is you can figure out what are my worksheets and templates and downloads going to be, then go and either offer them for free as a lead magnet in whatever your content or marketing strategy is right now, or you can go ahead and offer them for $5 or $10, which is exactly what we've done with this particular channel. We will go offer 5, 10, I think 25 is the highest we have right now, Excel tools or templates or scripts, and see if anyone bites. And then if people do purchase them, we have some validation that people are interested in learning more, and we're already making sales, which means we can confidently go start making bigger chunks of that course. In fact, sometimes you can, if we go back to our diagram here, you can make just one module and try and sell it and see what happens, right? Just make it a full on mini workshop in and of itself, charge $5 or $10 for it, and see if anyone purchases. That's the way to go about validating your course idea, your workshops, before you actually go spend all the time making them, or worse, pre-sell them and then only have 5 or 6 sales at the end of the week and realize that you have to make this big workshop for just a couple of people. It does look really bad if you just refund everybody because you don't want to make the course. So I'll leave a link in the cards and the description to a deep dive digital products guide that actually goes through the details of creating a template or a script or a tracker or planner, and actually walks through how you can quickly set up sales processes to validate these offers, all while you're either making your course or you're just trying out different digital product ideas so that you have validation before you get into content creation, which is the next part, right? So what tools do you need to actually create your course content? So assuming you're going to make videos, really all you need is a mic and a screen capture software. So if you're on Windows, you'll be using Camtasia. If you're on Mac, you'll be using ScreenFlow. I'm currently on a Mac using Camtasia for this video, and I can tell you from personal experience, the whole M1 chip thing has really messed with Camtasia. They're still catching up. So definitely don't use Camtasia for Mac, although maybe they fixed it by the time you're watching this. Now, when it comes to, okay, well, what do we do for graphics or slides? I use Google Slides. Everything, all the graphics you've seen in this particular video has been with Google Slides. So that's either a positive thing or a negative thing, depending upon what you think of my graphic skills. Of course, you can also use Canva, but you don't have to go too overboard with this because people are there for the information so they can apply it and actually get the results that they want. So we don't have to be really, really OCD or overly graphic intensive with our presentations as long as they, just look nice. I mean, if you just have a blank white slide and a bunch of text, probably need to do a little more than that, but not too much. And when it comes to microphones, you don't have to go buy the $400 or $500 Shure MB that you see on every single YouTube video, or Shure 7, I'm not saying that right. You can get away with a simple lav mic like what you're hearing now. Not the best audio quality in the world, but it's certainly better than just talking into your phone microphone, right? And then of course, if you want to show your face, you can. Personally, I don't show my face in any of our courses because I tend to jump around Airbnbs a lot, and I don't want people to know how old the course actually is, right? Because it's really easy to have some courses that go on for years making sales, and the last thing you want is someone, they're logging in, they're going okay, and they're like, wait a second, that they don't even look like this anymore, because we all age, maybe we gain weight, we lose weight, we move to a new place, we have a better studio, we have a worse studio, whatever it is. We just don't want to give any indication as to how old our content is, because I can tell you from personal experience, it stinks going back and re-recording a course simply because people can tell that it's so old. Now, when it comes to the tech stuff behind this, like how do we actually deliver this? How do we actually make sales? There are lots of solutions out there. There are lots, you could spend hours on YouTube, but there's only one that we currently recommend, and that's going to be Systemi.io if you're just getting started. Now, if you already have an email autoresponder and you already have some sort of sales process on your WordPress site, then Thrivecart is going to be the way to go. That's what we personally use right now. So Thrivecart or Systemi. Systemi if you're brand new, Thrivecart if you already have a bunch of tools and you just need a membership site function. And so let's go ahead and jump into Systemi so you can see how this process works. So of course, link in the cards in the description to a much deeper dive guide. I'll just quickly go through what our simple funnel looks like, and I'll actually link up these templates in the description so you can use these with the free version of Systemi.io. So here's a simple landing page that offers a lead magnet to get people on our email list. And then right after someone joins, we have a simple sales page with a countdown timer offering them one of our micro and rolling offers. So when you are going through the process of coming up with some worksheets, templates, trackers, scripts, or planners, this is a simple page you can use to sell those for $5 to $25. They enter their credit card information. You also have the ability to use something called Upsells. I won't get into that, but long story short, with one click, someone can purchase another one of your offers without having to enter their credit card information again. It's really cool. I really like this software for that. Then of course we have the confirmation, and then we have the members area. So you can actually set up all of this on the free plan. Yes, there are restrictions. I'm not saying you're going to have this massive 6-figure course with a free software. You should upgrade eventually, but you can start getting started making sales. There's a better way to say that without having to shell out, I don't know, $200 or $300 a month like some of the other funnel builder and membership site softwares out there. And so this is what it looks like when someone logs in. And so if I just go ahead and open up one of our courses here, what's really cool about Systemi is you can actually upload your course content directly. You don't have to pay a separate subscription for Vimeo or wherever else you're embedding your videos. And so this is a really simple system to set up a sales process, collect the payments, automatically drops people in the membership site, gives you the ability to upsell and downsell, promote your other things, and it has full-blown email marketing as well. So again, link in the cards in the description to a full guide that goes through how to build this all out from a membership site perspective and of course your funnel. And link in the description, way too many calls to action to copy all of these templates that you just saw. The landing page, the sales page, and then of course the upsell page and confirmation page directly into your account. So finally, let's go ahead and go through the process of how do we actually get traffic to this, right? Because at the end of the day, we can set all this up, but it's going to be crickets, right? Because where are we going to get customers? How are people going to find us? Now, there are a lot of strategies out there, right? We could try running paid ads, probably not the best place to start, or we could go the blogging route, we could do the podcasting route, we could do the YouTubing route. So whichever one you decide, inside of your content plan or strategy, you need to have calls to action. So I'll leave a link in the cards in the description to a much deeper dive guide that goes through this strategy, but here we'll just kind of 80-20 the process. So here's how it works for us on this particular channel. It all starts by making simple YouTube videos, just like this one, and then throughout the video, offering some sort of free guide, template, playbook, or planner, similar to what I've done when I talk about the online course launch playbook. Timestamps below, along with some other helpful links and resources, including a link to our online course playbook. And also in the description, the course launch playbook will have this diagram and of course this process listed out for you so you can easily follow along. Simple calls to action like that, hopefully I didn't come across too salesy, you can let me know in the comments, is all you need to start growing your email list or direct people straight to your sales page to purchase your $5 to $25 offer. Obviously, if you have a course that's like $300, it's gonna be a little harder to get people from a straight video to spend that much, but when you're using the micro offer strategy, it works really, really well. And that's all there is to it, to putting together your online course, starting to make some sales before you've even created anything in your course workshop, and of course, validating, because that's so important, as opposed to spending 3 or 4 months creating this awesome, big, giant program that nobody ultimately purchases. Not a good feeling at all. So thank you so much for watching. Sincerely hope you got some value out of this video. Most importantly, you're a lot more confident when it comes to putting together your next online course or workshop, or your first one. So again, link in the description to our online course launch playbook that walks through this entire process. It has more details and is a really great template to go through to make sure that you validate your idea, you come up with those micro offers so you can start making sales before you slave away months on a workshop or bigger course. So hit that like button, subscribe for more guides just like this one, and ones that are a whole lot shorter. And until the next, keep building the business you love.